it's kind of hard nowadays to do effective storytelling without painting the picture. Because there's just too much competition. There's just too many things going on. Everybody is competing. You're not just competing with radio and TV and movies. You're competing with podcasters, with influencers, with IG models, with everybody. And I feel like this individual could compete with anybody at the highest degree.
Oye, ahora estás con Dimelotony.
In my podcast, Jose Prime.
What's going on?
Prime. I just want to give a little backstory on who you are, what you do. Prime is our social media specialist. He's
pretty much.
He's a digital content creator.
Mm-hmm.
He's an artist. He's a great human being. He's a great dad. And he has a lot of topics that he's passionate about. And that's pretty much what the premise is of Jose Prime is now starting his own podcast.
Yeah, man. I'm jumping in like you.
What's Prime? With so many things to say, with so many different experiences that you've lived in music videos, concerts, digital campaigns, you've met so many characters throughout the year. You've worked with the elite, the creme, the creme de la creme.
Yeah.
What is this podcast that Prime is now gonna feature? What is it gonna be about? What's the main objective in it?
Well, a lot of it's in the name. The name is Power Flow, so it has a lot to do with how does power flow. You know, what we do to be in the entertainment industry, a lot of it is about power distribution, you know, good and bad. And so how do you use your influence? What is your integrity behind it? You know, how authentic are you? How solid are you about what you say you represent?
Mm-hmm.
I just realized that is that's what's needed, bro. And I think that's what we figured out together, creating content here in the station. Like,
what do you stand for, Prime? When it comes to, how would you describe yourself to somebody that doesn't know you? How would you describe your work and the impact it has?
My work, I would describe it, you know, like a tool. You know, it's a tool for timeless potential, right? So, like, I don't just do content with people who are in the entertainment industry. I also film lifestyle things. So, for example, weddings. And it's probably not the coolest thing for a lot of videographers to admit, but I found a passion in it in the sense of, like, I've done weddings where
it gets you money, that's for sure.
It gets you money, but I've done weddings where the family members pass away, and then I get reached out and, hey, do you still have those videos? Because you know, my grandmother was there front row.
That's impactful. And now she's gone.
And now she's gone, and that's the last video we ever had. Or fathers. I've had a father walk a bride down the aisle on hospice. He was doing it virtually, like on FaceTime, and she had like a selfie stick, and she's walking down the aisle with her dad. And the craziest thing about that, he ended up sending her this special video message through me that I didn't get done with the video until after he passed. It just so happened to work that way. So she never saw this special message that he sent to her until her wedding video, bro. I remember I had to call her husband and prepare him. I was like, hey, you know, make sure, keep her tight, man. Hold her close when you show her this. Like, when you guys open this video up, because it's just, what I do has the potential to have just a very, very long-lasting impact that will exceed your years, anyone's years. So I look at it like that. It's a lot more serious than I thought it would be. I've even had rappers that I worked with, they got killed, and I have some of the last clips. So they'll use the clips at funerals or, yeah. So it's tough, bro.
Wow.
Part of it is real deep. The way I look at it is deep, bro, because I've seen what I've seen.
You've worked with the biggest in the game.
Yeah.
You've worked not just rap, Latin. You've worked with influencers, reality show stars, vedettes, divas. You know, New Camaco, she's huge.
Shout out to New York. Yeah, that was fun.
How do you let these artists know that they don't cut it when it comes to what you're trying to put together? Because think about it, you're behind the lens.
Right.
It's your story.
Right.
That you're gonna, because everybody's like, oh, I got a shooter, oh, I got a videographer, you know, he's just gonna go, he's gonna put it together. Oh, this is what I want. How hard is it when you know that's not gonna work, and you still got to do it because you're getting paid? But at the end of the day, it's like, if you have me and you want to use me as a producer, use me. Why do you want to give ideas that majority of the time doesn't work or doesn't even come close to anything?
Yeah. Honest answer, bro, it starts with love. You have to critique them with love, right? So if you know it's just not going to work, and the most loving thing you could do is be honest. Be honest, but do it with love. And let them know, like, hey, I'm going to support you in the back end, though. Like, this idea is not going to work as it is. What is your goal? If your goal is to get a bunch of engagement.
Everybody wants the clout. Everybody wants numbers.
Yeah.
But then they want to choose what goes viral for them. And I tell them that all the time. I don't know anything. Yo no sé nada. You know, I'm clueless when it comes to that. But I listen to people that do know. Yeah. If I want to do things my way, then I'm going to keep getting the same results I've been getting.
Right.
If I want to reach a different audience, then I got to go with the professionals, right? Is that common sense or is that...
Yeah, I mean, you don't go to a mechanic and let them know, like, exactly how you want them to fix your car. You know, we don't do that with other things. When it comes to creative work, it's just some people take it upon themselves, like, oh, you know, I want a graphic designer, but I want to micromanage every single aspect of it, you know.
And then I want to blame you if I don't see the results.
Yeah, it's like you might as well cut your own hair, you know, cook all your meals.
Perform your own surgeries, right?
Right, sew your own clothes together. You know, because that's essentially what you're telling people who, like, do what I do. You know, when you want them to come to you with a vision that's something that they study. Like, I study what will work visually. I study what will actually make an impact. So you're in good hands with me. But once again, it comes down to love because, like, you can't trust me. We don't have respect for each other for real. So if I can't trust you, I can't love you. If I can't love you, I can't trust you. So a lot of what I have to do is build trust with people. Once I build trust with you, I can tell you that your stuff is trash. And you're not going to look at me like, I want to punch you in the face. I mean, you might look at me that way, but you're probably not going to punch me in the face because you know I'm telling you that so that we can actually get to what's going to work. You know what I'm saying? So you have to just be direct with people, and not everybody's coachable. So, you know, I quickly will filter out who I think is coachable and who I think is lying to me and lying to themselves because, you know, we can't sell lies. Like, people think you can, but those things will, like, spring up and be gone. What stays and what stands the test of time is, like, things that are more tangible and have more of an origin story. You know, like it or not, whatever the origin story is it authentic? Did 50 Cent get shot 9 times or not? You know what I mean? Like, that's what adds so much to his appeal. Things like that.
It's true. Get rich or die trying.
Get rich or die trying.
Name of his first album.
He exactly. Like, he embodied that with his own life.
Embraced it. Yep.
And then he was always on the stage with a Kevlar, with a bulletproof vest. Like,
yep.
So.
Prime, this is another thing that has always fascinated me about what you bring to the table. You could be working with the big names, the big companies, because they know you already. They know what you work with. They know your presentation. They know your product. Why does Prime choose to always back up minorities, a Latino minority, African American, over these mainstream media companies, mainstream products, mainstream America that pays the big bucks? You choose to work with the little people, to work with your people, to work with not with the majority, with the 1%. You look out for for the people that need it the most. Los Latino, ever since Prime hopped on Maxima is seen way different. You know what I'm saying? Because the vision that you've put, just like you said, it's like putting something on paper. It lives there now. Yeah. They know what the Maxima standard is. They knew of it, but visually it wasn't there. Now it is.
Yeah.
You do the same with African Americans, with artists, with the culture, with our hip hop station. You know, it's like you don't need to be doing that. That's what my point is. Mm-hmm. You already built your name. Your product is squeaky. Yeah. You could be with the, you know what I'm saying, with the Teslas, with the Elon Musk, and you're still right here in La Esquina, La Bodeguita, you know?
Yeah.
Why are you like that, Prime?
Yeah, I think that it has to do with like loving what I'm doing. So like I said, it starts with love. If I don't feel like I'm in a place I'm able to be as authentic as possible, then I just get burnt out fast. And so I was able to, like, for example, I worked with Drake and Future. I worked with Lil Baby, Moneybagg Yo. And not to say like those experiences were bad, but you get there, you do it, and it's kind of like, all right, like, what's next? And I grew up in a really radical, rough situation. Like, I grew up Puerto Rican. I was like one of 3 kids in a black neighborhood. Mm-hmm. And
I saw the pics.
Yeah. Yeah. So I grew up in an area where culture and struggle was like on the forefront. You know, we were literally struggling because of our culture. And so I just always was somebody who didn't like bullies. I didn't like abuse. I didn't like that. And once I started getting more educated on the reality of societal issues that affect our culture, like, more than others, I just find the most fulfillment in trying to change that narrative. I find the most fulfillment in seeing us elevate and represented at the highest levels. So that's, in a nutshell, it's like my answer to that. Like, I just like to work towards changing the narrative for us. I feel like we have a lot of catching up to do.
When is the first episode dropping of your new podcast? When is there a date? Is there a guest already in mind?
Okay, so
can we say anything? Could we tease some?
We're real early. This is I got a logo, I got a page, I got artists on deck. The first episode hasn't been filmed yet, but it will be. And the cool thing is, I'm gonna have a variety of like seasoned artists, up and coming artists.
Great.
And even people that are like industry
A nice mixture of everything.
Right, mm-hmm. Right. So, and I already have some of the more seasoned guys ready to go. It's just a matter of, filming them and putting them together. I'm thinking about doing a season where it's 10 episodes, locking the first 10 episodes, and then build from there. But it's mainly surrounded around investigating Christian hip hop.
Okay.
Yeah, because, or maybe you know, maybe you don't know, but, Christian hip hop is something that right now is on the rise for a lot of reasons. I mean, the music is just as good as everything else, quality-wise, mixing-wise. They're spending just as much money on their videos, too. Like,
yes, they are.
The quality's there. I mean, they're getting major deals, too. It's happening.
Mm-hmm. And the numbers are there, too.
The numbers are there. So it's rising. The thing is that I'm skeptical about a lot of stuff. In this industry, I feel like we all got to be very skeptical. So, I am very curious to see, like, how authentic is Christian hip-hop? Really. Because in one end, you're presenting a message to the people about God, about you being humble, about being a servant.
But you're still trying to compete with everybody else.
Yeah. At the same time, You want to be fresh and fly and wear $30,000 chains on stage, mm-hmm. and get people hyping, singing.
And you still
lyrics.
Want the millions of views.
So how do we reconcile that? How do we actually balance, Is it just a watered down?
I don't think it could be. It's possible. You think it is?
That's what I want to find out. You see what I mean? So I think that people who do this are going to be better to ask than even just my opinion. I'm genuinely curious. Like, does this really make sense, or does it not make sense? And it's going to be interesting to hear the perspectives from different seasoned people and also the up and coming people that maybe they're just young, immature, and they just think it's about making a clean version of hip hop. But At the end of the day, I look at it like you're doing a ministry. You could be a rapper or a pastor, in my opinion. If you're out there and you're preaching gospel, like, you should have a lot more of a solid education about what you're doing, I think. You should be more disciplined in what you're talking about, I think, because where I see Christianity and faith, like, I look at it like it's a matter of life and death.
Mm-hmm.
And, I just come from that. When I got really involved in the world and stuff, like, I was always around gang members. And they taught me, like, you have to be very serious about whatever you stand on. You can't be a Blood today and a Crip tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody respects that.
There's an old Spanish saying on that, que dice, los indios, you're either with the Indians or with the Cowboys.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that Christian hip-hop, in my opinion, needs to be audited. There's a lot of blurry lines. And so I'd love to bring that together, bring that conversation to the forefront.
Let's plug the Instagram handle. Let's plug your social media so they can follow this.
Yes.
Do we have a channel name already on YouTube?
Yes. Power Flow, one word, Convos. Power Flow Convos on YouTube and Power Flow Convos on Instagram. Those are the two platforms right now. And we're gonna build it organic, man. You see I got the formula with this radio stations. We're gonna take that same discipline, that same formula, and we'll just apply it here and have hopefully some really big breakthrough conversations.
Jose Prime, thank you, man, for stopping by. It was funny because I was like, "What are you starting?" And he's like, "I'm starting a podcast. Could you interview me?" I was like, "Of course, man. Anything. I'm always gonna make the time for you." So this is not our typical silly, questions that we do. This is on some deep, serious matter that's worth watching and analyzing, because Jose Prime's mind is pretty much a world on his own. So take the time, make the time, and follow Jose, follow Prime, because he's not just the stuff that he puts together, man. He's a great human being. He's a very admirable dad. I just became a dad. I learned a lot from him. So if always surround yourself with people that you admire, you respect, and you wouldn't mind wasting your time with. When we're here producing, creating stuff, to me, everything, there's a reason for it. It's not work.
No.
I don't see it as work. I pick up his call even when I'm not at work, and that's because of the great human being that he is. So I'm pretty sure this new project and an idea that he has is going to be worth watching, because he knows what to put together, and he's going to give you the recipe. He got the sauce, guys. He got the sauce. So make the time, follow Prime, and until next time.
Thank you, Brody.
Dimelotony.
Oye, ahora estás con Dimelotony.